Hey guys, it's Donnie with DK Motorsports, and this is my wife Alex. Together we founded DK Motorsports about 2 years ago.
Yes.
And we just wanted to do this video to kind of introduce you guys to the channel and tell you a little bit about us, what we have planned, and what we got going on. So Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Alex Kellenbach. First and foremost, I'm a mom. We have 4 kids, 2 girls and 2 boys between us. And that is really my passion, and trying to get my kids the best experience of life that they can, make it fun. And so that's part of the reason why we're doing all this, is not only for us, but for our whole family. And then outside of being a mother and a wife, I'm a board-certified behavior analyst, licensed in the state of Texas, and I currently work with clients with autism. So that's my day job, and then with our free time, do a lot of the off-road motorsports with Donnie.
Yeah, and so I work in corporate sales in the oil field for a company called Archer Oil Tools, and as you might have noticed, I've got a pretty good accent. I'm profoundly deaf in both ears. I lost my hearing at 1.5 years old from meningitis. I've got a cochlear implant, and as far as I know, I'm one of the very few people, both in the oil field and in off-road racing, motorsports, that competes. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. A lot of people don't really notice that I'm actually deaf, and they think I'm from another country or whatever, but so that's what it is. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what the DirtStyle thing is. So Alex, you want to tell us about that?
Sure. DirtStyle is the company, the brand that we launched, I guess, earlier in the 2019 year. The goal of DirtStyle has always been to bring more awareness. We are Houston-based, to bring more awareness of off-road sports, motorsports to this area, since we see a lot of mudding, which is cool and it's fun and it's really fun to watch. But our thing is more kind of the technical. I started with crawling. You've been doing it for a long time, but he introduced me to this whole world through rock crawling and Jeeps and buggies and Broncos and all of that. And then kind of said, you know what, let's go ahead and jump into the racing world. And so we don't find a lot of people from Houston doing what we're doing, and it's kind of a shame, because it's a lot of fun, it's a blast. And from the the mothering side of me, we take the kids with us. We're camping all the time. We're outside. They're playing in the dirt. They're not sitting in front of the TV. So that's really the goal is just to say, this is what we're doing, and you can be doing it too, and you can have a really great time doing that. In addition, you'll notice that all of our videos are closed captioned. That's important to us, especially with Donnie being deaf. But on top of that, we've just met some really wonderful people through this sport and just throughout life and through Donnie, that some of them have disabilities, some of them don't, but they're amazing. And we want this to be an inclusive channel. We want everyone to be able to benefit from it and enjoy it. And so part of what we want to do too is highlight those people, interview them, and let their stories be told and inspire others. So
Right. So like she said, we're more into the rock crawling side of it, but a big part of it for me is that it's such a small world when it comes to rock crawling, and it's a pretty standard progression where somebody will start with a JK or a Cherokee or whatever, and they build it up until they get to a certain point, and then they build or buy a buggy and kind of go up from there. And one of the unique things about us is that, we've got a race cars, the Pro UTV, and as well as the 4600 Comanche that you're going to see later. And we also have a 94 Cherokee two-door 37s. I mean, it's the N30 and the 8.8. I mean, it's as basic as it can get. But like she said,
fun.
we take our families out and we have a blast. And I think that's what a lot of people miss on is that, you don't have to spend a ton of money to go out there and have fun. I mean, she's got a mall crawler, a JK, yeah, a JKU. No, we've got 37th on. It's got 480s and all that kind of stuff. But we see a lot of people spend a ton of money, fixing them up and whatever, and that's great if that's what you're into. But you don't have to. You can spend a little bit of money and focus on having a good time and having good experiences, and that's kind of what we're looking to try and show people how to do that, or some whatever. So that's kind of the goal. So I think it'll be an interesting journey for sure.
Part of how we're going to communicate all of that is through our marketing partners. As things come in, we're going to show unboxing videos. We're going to talk about the products, why we chose those products. We're going to show installation videos. We're going to have race recaps. We're going to have the interviews like I talked about. So we really want the channel to be all-inclusive of everybody, whatever level you're at. If you are a professional racer or you're just kind of getting into the sport, there's something for you.
Or not at all. But I mean,
right.
And we're gonna, we'll probably do some silly stuff, some funny stuff, and I mean, it's just gonna be a little bit of everything. It's definitely not going to just be racing. That's not the goal for the channel. But yeah, backing up a little bit, she was talking about the DirtStyle thing. So some of you might know we actually in the Houston, Texas area. We tried to start up a track day series for sport UTVs and ATVs. And the goal there was there's not really anywhere to ride on a track outside of a race. So you can enter in a race and be on the track, but you can't just go out to a track and practice. So kind of get to know the UTV or the ATV. And I feel like that's a pretty big gap. Because it takes a lot to, commit to, okay, we're going to build up a $15,000, $20,000 UTV with a cage and all the safety stuff, which you should have anyway. But there's a certain level of, build that you have to get to be able to race it. And it's a lot of investment to not know if you're going to like it or not. So unfortunately, we had 3 track days planned. Actually a Three Palms Action Sports Park, but unfortunately we ran into some insurance issues at the absolute last minute. Literally had all the shirts made, the banners, title sponsor was on board. I mean, we're all super excited about it, but unfortunately, I mean, it was, I think, mostly on my part. I just didn't know enough about the insurance thing to see that there was some question marks, and unfortunately it didn't work out. But in the 2020 year, once we get done with King of the Hammers and we kind of get back to normal with our builds on the UTV and the Comanche, I definitely want to try and organize some events. They might not be actual track days, they might be more of an informal event at Hidden Falls or some of the other off-road parks or tracks in the area. So we're definitely going to keep trying on that.
So let's go ahead and do our race recap from last season.
Yeah.
And then after that, we'll go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about what's coming up for us and our team.
Great. Hey guys, so we're going to recap the 2019 race season. So we're going to start with, in February we raced the 2019 King of the Hammers and our Pro UTV. And we're going to go through a couple of pictures and just like a quick little shot at the beginning of the race event. Eventually, my plan is to go back and populate our channel with full videos of each race, but they won't be part of episodes. You know, if you guys just want to check it out and watch that. So, all right, then moving on, we after that got into racing Dirt Riot, and we met Shelly and Big Rich, who run the Dirt Riot Central Series, and you can see behind us we were fairly successful in the Central Dirt Riot UTV Series. We walked away with the Central UTV Championship and Stock UTV. So it worked out pretty good for us. After that, we ran the EFI Clash at Crossbar in Davis, Oklahoma, and that was a lot of fun. Pretty muddy. We brought the kids with us, my two, Charlie and Logan, and I think they enjoyed cleaning the race car between the pre-run and the race. It was quite the adventure.
Worked out some kinks on navigation.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Yeah. It's the tricky course, you know. You had like an A loop and a B loop, and there's a slight navigational error that came into play, but we did good. I mean, we finished ninth. Unfortunately, Ultrafor said they were gonna fix the timing, but they never did. So when you look online, I think we placed like 14th. But we know where we are. We have the video to prove we finished ninth. So anyway, that was that for that. We kind of got most of the way through the year, and then we started thinking about, okay, so what's the goal for 2020? And my goal, honestly, from the very beginning, has been to be in one of the buggy classes, whether it's 4,800 or, well, I'd love to race 4,400, but I don't have pockets that deep. So we were kind of looking at that, and are we going to sell the UTV and move up, or what are we going to do? And what we realized was it's quite the learning curve, even in UTV, especially in UTV, because the cars are so fast and so capable that it's just, it's very, very difficult to be awesome right off the bat. You got to learn how to drive the cars, you got to learn how to set up the suspension, and it was pretty challenging. So what we kind of started talking about was keeping the car and then looking at getting something else, which is where Lance Kirk comes in. Lance actually co-drove for me at King of the Hammers and has talked a lot about wanting to build a 4800 car or a buggy of some kind. So I went to him and I suggested that we partner on a 4600 truck, a Comanche, is what I wanted to build. And so we talked about it, we looked at some cars, and we picked one up. Yeah, it was, we've been working on building that. I believe Alex might be starting to drive the Yamaha in 2020. Possibly starting with King of the Hammers for the very first race. So I'll be in the co-driver's seat. I'm pretty sure I'll be more scared than she will be. And yeah, so hopefully you got to see some video recaps if I figured out the video editing magic. And yeah, so let's talk about what we got planned for 2020.
Okay, so I think we have in the high 50s in the count of days left until KOH. Kind of scary to think about. We have just minor stuff to do on the UTV, some reworking the cage a little bit for visibility, but not too much on that. That's pretty much ready to go. The fuel system is changing.
We're going to install the Corvo seats.
Yeah. Minor stuff on that, though. Still working hard on the Comanche. You'll see a lot of that in our episodes to come. And then our race season kicks off in Johnson Valley, California with King of the Hammers 2020. And then we'll be going to Kentucky. We'll be going to Wisconsin. We'll be going to Tennessee. Put a lot of miles already on this new motorhome. New to us. I'm really looking forward to doing that again, probably double it this year.
Yeah.
Think about it. Yeah, so we are, if we haven't already posted the Ultra 4 2020 season, we're aiming to go to all those. Additionally, I want to get a little bit more experience locally, maybe some smaller races. I have a lot of co-drive seat time, but not a lot of driver experience, so I'd really like to get to the Dirt Riot Central series. Those have been kind of closer to home for us. They're shorter races, and so if anyone knows of any other smaller race series that are kind of in this area, or that you want to promote, we'll try and make it there. Either enter or watch or promote. However we can, because again, that is our goal, is to kind of just spread awareness and get more people involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, Clarendon, Wisconsin, I'm super excited about that. I'm a Texas boy, and short course racing has not been a thing in Texas for many, many years. So, for me, I'm super excited to see those Pro 2s and Pro 4s sliding around the track at Clarendon. It's going to be insane. I don't know how much fun it's going to be in a little Pro Donkey 4600 truck, but we'll still send it, and we'll see what we can do. But yeah, absolutely. Like she said, Dirt Riot is a great series if you're trying to get started. We'll leave a link below as well for that if you're interested in learning more about that series. They usually have around 3 races in the Central each. They have like a Mountain, a West, a Central series, and about 3 races in each series. So it's a pretty good little group, and it's a good way to get started. Next, I wanted to talk a little bit about marketing partners. You know, in 2019, we had a great team of marketing partners and sponsors. So we had guys like Rugged Radios, I2P Tires, KMC Wheels, King Shocks, Power One Batteries, Black Armor Helmets, One, and a couple other guys, Patriot Performance and Off-Road. And, you know, they did a great job of really helping support us in our first full year of racing. We kept some of those people, like One Industries and Rugged Radios, we've kept on board for the 2020 season.
Patriots on board.
Yeah, Patriot Performance. We're adding a lot of really cool brands to the team this year. I'm super excited about it. Method Race Wheel, Maxxis Tires, Corbo Seats, and Bubba Rope.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of stuff coming in, and yeah, not to mention Lone Star Fab branding. With Lone Star Fab, it's been helping us with the cage, and the cage is looking phenomenal. So you're going to get to see that in a little bit here. But first, we're going to do a little unboxing video of the new Method Race Wheel that we got. So check that out.
Hey there everyone, Alex from DK Motorsports here at the DK Motorsports Garage. Got our Pro UTV behind us and the Jeep Comanche over here, and came out and lo and behold we got a delivery set up real nice here in the garage. Yeah, we were at SEMA a couple of weeks ago, walking around, saw some really cool stuff, met really cool people. And we did decide to go ahead and partner with Method Race Wheels and Custom Wheelhouse on our wheels for the Comanche for the Ultra 4 2020 season. So we're really excited they're here. We got the MR105 17 by 8.5 beadlocks in matte black. So we're going to go ahead and open those. So stay tuned, learn a little bit more about them, and get to see the details. All right, so here we are. We're ready to open them. Looking forward to it. You know, Method Race Wheels, really big on their motto, lighter, stronger, faster. So we've heard a lot about that actually holding up from the off-road community, off-roaders, like wheelers, racers, all that. Have really good things to say about these wheels. So we're hoping we can kind of add to those great reviews when we get them on the Comanche there. Looks packaged really nicely, which is really nice to see, actually, making sure that, you know, their product gets to the customer undamaged, and that would be a bummer if we went ahead and got these and they're damaged from shipping. I think this is going to be the bead ring here, beadlock ring. If you're not familiar with beadlocks, here they are. Very nice. If you're not familiar with beadlocks, beadlocks essentially sandwich your wheel, and there's bolts in all of these. Sandwich the tire. Sorry about that. You put bolts in all these, and it holds it in there, which is great for a couple of reasons, honestly. One, we'd like to run a pretty low PSI depending on what we're doing and kind of what terrain we're in. Helps us get around, and then also in case we cut a tire on a rock or something like that, it goes ahead and make sure that tire stays on. That actually happened a couple of years ago. We were racing the UTV, and we cut the tire pretty bad. Got it back to the pits, but I mean, the tire was it was shredded. It's actually hanging on our wall in our living room with some of our other race mementos. And, but yeah, I mean, the tire's gone, but where the beadlock's holding it on, there's still tire there. So that's awesome. Another thing about these beadlocks is the bolts here are actually inset, which is really great. And what I mean by that is when I have the bolt here and it goes in, it's actually a little bit lower than the hole here, so it's smooth when I run my hand across it, which is really great because if I if we're driving and we hit a rock, if this bolt was out like a standard normal bead lock, it could easily get damaged. It could become loose. It could get rounded. So really good design feature here to have it inset, and that's one of the things that made us want to choose these wheels. So keep going here. See what else we got in here. This is the bolt box here. Got our stickers. That'll be fun. And here's the wheel. I don't know if you can see this. Actually, can you get that? This is really nice packaging. Obviously a lot of pride in their product here, which makes us as consumers feel very optimistic about the product. Comes with this fancy cover. All right. Nice. All right, cool. Here are the MR105s, matte black. We're actually planning, if you are familiar with the build, we are keeping with the Comanche, keeping the Comanche kind of classic, sticking with the paint scheme that has it's blue, tan, gold. So what we want to do is actually go ahead and powder coat this gold and leave black on the interior. It'll look sick. Another thing is the classic 12 window pattern here is as close as we could find to the original, really trying to stay authentic with the 86 Comanche look there. So we have here an 8.65 lug pattern, and it has a 4.75 inch back spacing. Sorry about that. And if you come over here, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to measure for your own set. If you're going to go ahead and order these for your builds, so you know exactly what you need. All right, so back spacing, what is that? Essentially what it is the distance between this portion of the wheel and the very most back portion here. What this number is going to do is it's going to give us, it's going to push the tires, either going to suck them more in and under the vehicle, or it's going to push them out. Now, so the larger this number is, between the back spacing number, between here and here, the more sucked in your tires are going to be. The smaller that number is, the wider your tires are going to be. Keeping your tires wide is actually great for off-roading. When you're wheeling, it adds a lot of stability to the vehicle. In this case, though, our Comanche is on 1 tons, and so that already gives us a lot of width, a lot of stability, and we don't want to be limited on the trails by how wide we are. So we went with the 4.75 to try to suck those wheels under. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to measure for that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and measure it. You need a straight edge. We're using a level here. And make sure you keep it nice and flush on the outside of your wheel. And then use your tape measure. And go ahead and put it right there. And it is dead on 4.75 inches. Be careful that your tape measure doesn't slip and you kind of get down here or back here, making sure it's right there. And there it is, back spacing. All right, so lug patterns. 2 numbers. First number always tells you how many bolts you're going to have, how many lugs you're going to have. So easy to count. Our first number is 8, so we have 8 holes. My JK is a 5x5. So I have 5 holes. That second number I'm going to explain to you in just a second, but the first number is how many lugs that you need. So the second number is the spacing, kind of the diameter. All right, so we went ahead, we cut to lay this wheel down, make sure that you can get a really great angle on it. A little bit hard to describe because, so we're going to go here from the center of this lug hole to the center of the lug hole directly across. So you'll see there, 6.5. Exactly what it's saying, and there you have it. So yeah, Method race wheels are awesome. If you want to know more information, go ahead. We're going to leave a link below. You can go ahead and click that. They have wheels, street wheels. They have UTV wheels. They have off-road wheels, beadlocks like these. Go ahead and check them out. And if you have any questions, comments, anything you'd like us to talk about, leave us a comment. Other than that, please go ahead, click like and subscribe and hit that notification. And what are you waiting for? Go order a set.